Hey guys, this is Hugh, and I am currently living in Sanford by myself pretty much. It's rural, and I've been trying to keep my meals pretty simple, so nothing too elaborate, and I wanted to show with you guys tonight's offering. So my thought was, what if a Vietnamese person ever lived in Chile? He'd probably eat a banh mi sandwich, which is very Vietnamese, but with a little bit of Chilean components. So, first things first, we have our sub rolls, and these are actually frozen. And the great thing about having frozen sub rolls is that they last a lot longer. They don't ever get moldy. They can probably keep in the freezer for about 3 months or so. You just quickly stick them into a 350-degree oven. Let it sit in there for about 5 minutes, make sure it doesn't burn, and then as soon as you take them out, they're perfect, crispy and hot. Alright, so the components for tonight's dinner is going to be a steak sandwich, but the other components is just sliced up cucumbers, basil, which is very Vietnamese, the onions that goes along with this is, I pre-made this, is the chimichurri sauce, essentially with olive oil, red wine vinegar, and usually it has cilantro and onions. But instead, I blended it with arugula and basil, and then I'm adding the onion component to the sandwich last. This is actually very Vietnamese. This is called do chua. My Vietnamese pronunciation is terrible. It is basically carrots and daikon that have been pickling in a solution of about 2.5 cups of white vinegar, about 2 cups of sugar, a couple tablespoons of salt, and about another cup of water. And it's only been pickling for about a day, but this is basically, it tastes like the way it should. So these are basically the components of the sandwich. So next we have the steak, which I just finished cooking, and I was letting it rest on the stove. The steak is just chuck because I'm poor, so nothing too expensive. Along with the chuck steak was seasoned with salt, pepper, cumin, garlic powder, and adobo, chipotle and adobo sauce. So let's see how they turned out. As you can see, there's 2 pieces of steak tonight, and yes, I'm putting them both on the sandwich. So let's see. Alright, not bad. About medium tonight. Last night I made the sandwich. It was kind of a bit on the medium raw side, so I left it sitting a little bit longer tonight. But you just go ahead and cut your steak against the grain, like so. And the nice thing about, you can really, this is really the Chilean part. Usually it's, Chileans have a flank steak, which they season, they cook, and they top with chimichurri sauce. So it's the same similar concept, except that I'm doing it with chuck, 1 because of it's cheaper, and 2, there's a lot of fat content in the chuck, which makes for pretty good eating. The way you cook this is you can either grill it, or I just do it in a saute pan, and then I use a second saute pan and I cover it up, and then brown it on the outside, and then once you've browned it and you want to make sure it doesn't burn, you can put a couple tablespoons of water in the saute pan, basically, which will kind of, in the process, steaming it, which will keep it from burning. Alright, so let me get the bread. Hot, 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 hot. Okay, so this is, if you were here, you feel it's absolutely pretty crispy, hot. So what we do is go ahead and just cut it open, like so. And the interesting thing is, you'll notice the inside is actually still pretty cold. You can leave it in a little bit longer if you want to defrost the middle, but actually I've been doing this and I like it that way, because what ends up happening is that the insides of this stay relatively intact because it's kind of cold a little bit, and I pull it out and toss it out. Only because I could care less for the extra carbs. I'm trying to cut down on the carbs. So, and it gives you a little bit more space to kind of fill your sandwich with all this good stuff. Alright, so we take our arugula chimichurri sauce and just take a good dollop of this and just smear it like that. Okay. Next thing, we'll take our steak and just put it on there like that. Oh yeah. It's delicious. I had it last night, so I already know how it's going to taste. But yeah, let me say, it is very, very delicious. Okay. So I have the extra chipotle peppers here. That you can buy these at the store. They come in a can. They're usually in the ethnic aisle, meaning, you know, Hispanic, Asian, that, you know, special aisle for all the ethnic foods or whatever. You'll find it there under a lot of the Latino spices and sometimes the beans, but they come in adobo sauce, and they are actually delicious. They're great for making other things like lime chipotle dressing. So next, we'll go ahead and put on the doju. Just top it on. If you don't have the time to make this stuff, I guess you can also just use pickles, regular pickles. Gives it a little bit of a sour taste, which is pretty good. But this has quite a bite to it. So it's got a lot of a vinegar taste to it, which, along with the vinegar and the chimichurri sauce, it's quite a bit of a punch, but adds a lot of good flavors. Next, the red onions, and then go ahead and just top on with the basil, okay? And then with me, I've been trying to get my veggies in, so lots of cucumbers, give it some texture, some crunch, and such. Keeps it pretty fresh, actually. So, as you can see, the sandwich is packed, which makes for really good eats, I think. So, here we go. Alright, and there we have it, guys. Chilean Banh Mi. Really good. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the camera now. Oh, that's really good. The last thing is, if you really want to spice it up, which I do, I always have sriracha sitting on the side, which makes for good eating. Alright, I'll see you guys later.